You're listening to Those Dram Yinzers with your hosts, Jon and Zach.
Hey everyone, I'm Jon.
And I'm Steve.
And welcome to Those Dram Yinzers, where we drink whiskey and talk about it. For everything Those Dram Yinzer, please be sure to visit thosedramyinzers.com. You can find our social media links, our Patreon page, order form for our hats, and the link to Zach's favorite website, which you all know is dramit.threadless.com, where you can find all types of merch that we offer. If you're interested in sponsoring the show, want us to do an ad for your product, or would like us to try a product on the show, send us a DM or an email. Let's take a minute to talk about Frost Buddy. It's a great way to support the show while also getting something for yourself in return. It's the best all-in-one koozie you can ever have. Their Universal Buddy fits 4 different types of bottles and cans and can even turn into a full-on drink container with their additional lid. Use the link in our bio to check it out for yourselves. And if you buy something through our link, Frost Buddy will send us part of the sale. Again, great way to support the show and get something for yourself in return. Hi, Steve.
Hey, Jon.
Thanks for coming back.
Thanks.
I didn't scare you away this last time with the advent calendar.
No, you didn't scare me away at all. I mean, I got to appreciate it's a Monday here that we're doing this. And
This is very odd for us. We usually do it on a Thursday. So
yes, so it's a strong start to the week for me.
Mm-hmm. I think we're actually going to be switching to Tuesdays, because they're like Thursday nights at like 8:30. Like, oh my gosh, like we're just like staring.
It's too much for
we
you.
get real slap happy. I mean, you got to listen to the last episode. The end of it is just nuts.
Oh, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. No, but like I said, it's a strong start to the week, mm-hmm. and man, I can't think of a better way to do it.
Yeah. So for those that aren't familiar with Steve, so we have a lot of friends on the podcast that have the same first names. Mm-hmm. We have multiple Matts. We have multiple Steves. So this is because we had a different Steve this year's Advent calendar. But this is Steve Ruperto. Steve was on 22's.
Yes, 22's
Advent.
That's correct.
Steve's been on a couple of times. You were at when we did our trip down to Kentucky.
Correct.
With Lee. And Steve went to college and was in the fraternity with Zach and I. Steve were the basement council because both of our rooms were in the basement of the house, which I don't know how we are alive today.
Oh, I do know. It's actually, that's where the original COVID vaccine came from. So by living in the basement, by living in the basement of a fraternity house, that actually made us immune. Mm. So if you didn't think that you got any advantage from college, you know.
But yeah, so there's a big review of this Steve R. Okay, so we are doing. In fact, I didn't know what we were doing until Steve got here because I was like, help me make a decision because So staying on the craft distillery, craft whiskey train that we're trying to move into, right? Lisa and I last year in I think May, June, on our way to Bethany Beach. We stay halfway because it's just easier with you've traveled with a small child. It's easier just instead of doing 6 hours, break it up. Anyway, we stayed in Frederick, Maryland, and Lisa found because she knows I like finding distilleries, obviously. When we go places new, she found this one that we're going to talk about today, and she was pumped about it because it is female owned and operated. It is Tenth Ward Distilling Company. They are out of Frederick, Maryland. We got to meet. I think their cards upstairs. I think it was the GM. I think one of the GMs, but super knowledgeable, real nice. Really nice little bar. It's small, little place, nothing too major or too massive. They partner with the restaurant next door, and they actually have QR codes, and you can scan, order your food online, and they will bring you the food. We had a good time, and they actually sell canned cocktails crushes and stuff like that. So
sounds...
on our way to the beach, we grabbed a couple. I think they have some in 4-packs. A couple different 4-packs on our way out the door, and I bought what we're going to try today, which is their smoked bourbon whiskey. I also bought their Maryland rye whiskey. But I let Steve make the choice, and he said, "Ooh, smoked bourbon."
I will always give me the option. I will always choose something smoked.
But it is 90 proof, and I like it. I'm not going to do a Zach thing of the label, but I do like that they have a lot of detail about what it is just right on the bottle. Like, this is a smaller bottle, right? It's a 375.
It's funny you said it. I was about to make comment to it and be like, I really like it's that perfect rectangle, really clean.
Oh, yes.
It's a very clean look. And I am a big fan of the design.
But they, right on the front, they give the mash bill, the percentage breakdown and everything, not just like, it's this and this. And you can guess, 80% smoked corn. So rather than just regularly, they smoked corn first, 20% malted barley, aged in American white oak. It does not say how long. Wait, let's read the side. Nope. But 10th Ward, you're probably thinking, like, where did that come from? That's the area. It's the 10th Ward in Fredericks. So they were like,
makes sense.
Staying with, the local trend. Their artwork is great. Steve can see the difference between like the bourbon. The difference between the bourbon and the rye is like this like the artwork on the front is like the mascots for each one of these.
Yeah.
So like the one for the bourbon, it's very like Victorian-esque. But the head is like
it's an ear of corn.
An ear of corn,
and of course the rye is imagine that some rye.
Yeah, exactly. So it's super cool, and we really enjoyed ourselves there. I definitely want to get back down there to like interview them and everything. But yeah, so this was really cool. We really enjoyed ourselves, like I said, at the distillery. Their canned cocktails were great. Sadly, it is in Maryland, so you'd have to go down and get it. But
does the side of yours there, I see on the rye here, it has a QR code for scanning for cocktails. Does it have it on that guy too?
Yep. And they were founded in 2016. They have full 750s of the. I just grabbed the three because I'll grab two smaller ones. Yeah, so I can get.
It's nice to get tasters.
And I don't remember how much they were because it was like a year ago. But yeah, they make absinthe, gin, rye. It's in their smoked bourbon. Yeah, and here I'm trying to think. Where were the canned cocktails? Oh, peach, clementine, lemonade, iced tea. That was one of the ones we got. That's a canned cocktail.
So right on their site here, the recommended cocktail is, you want to guess, what do you think the recommended cocktail for the smoked bourbon is?
An old-fashioned?
Oh, you are right on the money. Right on the money. And, let's see, let's scroll up here to the rye. What do you think the recommended cocktail on the rye is?
I mean, I want to say Manhattan because that's the easiest.
Oh, you are 2 for 2. You are 2 for 2. It is a Manhattan and they're very so the Manhattan that they recommend here very, very straightforward. Nothing surprising about that. And oh, you know what? Actually, so they've got the Manhattan. What I didn't see is they also had a Manhattan Old Fashioned and a Sazerac in the recommendations. And then,
which makes sense because they make absinthe.
Yep. And so on the smoked, they had said the Old Fashioned, a fig Old Fashioned, which that sounds. You were saying the cocktail. One of the cocktails have fig in it. That you had said.
Maybe I don't remember which one we got.
Okay. And then,
I know what. No, I actually I did a flight.
Oh, okay.
Lisa got a cocktail that she really enjoyed.
And then a rusty nail. So
there other. So we had got the peach clementine lemonade iced tea. That's made with their gin. They also sell, it's called Queen Bee's Knees. Again, made with their gin, lavender, honey, lemon, ginger. Berry lemon crush, because crush is like the drink in like Maryland and Delaware.
see, first you said it, I was just thinking it was a more craft type, crush, not actually like the soda, the pop.
No. It's
the pop.
No,
it's not the pop.
It's a cocktail.
Okay.
So a bourbon crush. Something. A crush is a
At
style.
first, the way you're describing it, that I'm thinking what you're selling on the cocktail, but then I thought, oh, you mean like the pop or something like that?
No. It's it's like a style of drink.
Yeah.
Like a specific one. They have a watermelon mojito, an espresso martini. That could get dangerous. A grapefruit crush, which is made with their rum. And But yeah, I think we had gotten the grapefruit and the iced tea, and both were really good. Really enjoyed them, especially on the beach.
Oh yeah. I think I'd go for the tea.
That's something I think would be a good show for this year, is to go around and find some of these like craft canned cocktails. It's like, what's going to be like your summer canned cocktail of choice? And I'm talking craft ones. I'm not talking the Jim, Jack, and Crown.
No. No, something a little more original.
So, for instance, and I am sorry that it took me this long into the show to point out that you dressed appropriately for the show. You got your Mick Yinzer shirt on. I appreciate the thought.
I had to lean into the brand. I mean,
I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
If it's got the word Yins in the brand, you better make sure you're dressed for the occasion here.
Oh yeah.
Plus, it is still March. We
Yes.
are past St. Patrick's Day, but it's got the shamrocks, the green theme
it's
going
still March.
on.
Yeah.
It looks
You're
good.
Yeah. So this is actually coming out on Wednesday, the 29th?
So it's still
27th.
March.
27th.
Still March.
And so as of when this is coming out, not today like where me and you are at, but when this is released, it's actually International Whiskey Day.
Oh, I was not aware.
But so that's fun.
Isn't every day International Whiskey
Pretty much,
Day?
right.
I mean,
but yeah, so happy International Whiskey Day.
oh, that sounds excellent.
Craft canned cocktails. Now again, obviously I would like to find ones that are whiskey based.
Yes.
Right. But again, supporting craft and local is massive anyway. I was just visiting Lawrenceville Distilling. Have you been there yet?
No, I have not.
So they primarily do a lot of clear. So they do absinthe, gin, vodka, stuff like that. They have a couple whiskeys, but it's very like not hush hush, but they only make like one batch every once in a while, and it's only 5 gallons. So it's really just kind of like for them. They sell it, but
it's.
And but anyway, so I was over there talking with him and everything, and they have a canned cocktail called the Tea.
Oh,
and
right.
it's a like a hard iced tea basically. He let me take one home. I haven't had it yet, but that might be a contender for.
It sounds good.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think if I was, just imagining a good beach cocktail, in a can, something with a tea base, or styling would be a very logical type choice. I don't want something too sweet on the beach. You start to feel gross. It's hot out.
Hurts,
and, you want something that's not too strong, but a little refreshing. Tea's a good option there.
When we were in Maryland, in
Delaware.
Thank you, Maryland to get to Delaware. There was one of the liquor stores had like a local like bourbon crush. It was like from a Maryland company, but it was like a bourbon crush canned cocktail. It was like a 4-pack, which was really good. But I probably wouldn't have bought more than the 4-pack because it was on the sweeter side. So I have like one of those and then like finished,
Yep.
My dad gets, so I don't know if you've seen this anywhere, but both beer distributors in Ellwood. Yes, Ellwood has 2.
Okay. Big competition?
A little bit. One's a drive-through. The other one is like you can walk in. So yes and no. But anyway.
It serves 2 very different markets.
Yes. But they both offer alcoholic slushies.
Sounds a little dangerous in the drive-through.
Very much so. Very
in the
much
drive-through?
So. Yeah. Well, yeah, it comes out with like a sticker over top of like the straw. They hand you the straw, and they put a sticker. So like they didn't put the straw. Like they're saying, wait till you know. How many people really wait till you know?
Gosh, I hope so. That's not a good idea.
But anyway, but they have because we're talking iced tea. They have like a Long Island iced tea slushy thing, and my dad loves just the can that what they use that they mix with this like slush like mix. So he brought that to him to the beach last year, and I tried one, and they're like tall boys. Oh my, you're talking sweet. Holy
I'm
crap.
sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's just a big can of sugar.
Yeah. And I was like, Dad, are you okay?
Yeah. No, it's easy in a cocktail to get way too sweet, way too quick.
For sure. But anyway, I don't know. I got summer on the brain. I know it's not even April yet, but thinking ahead. So this is episode 92. We are rolling along, and if we stick to our regular scheduled programming, we will come out with episode 100 in July, roughly, if we stay on track. Yeah,
You'll get there.
Yeah. So Zach and I are still trying to figure out what we want to do.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no,
we gotta do
you got to. Yeah, you got to do something. You could do something where you add up the ages of what you have, and it adds up to 100. Okay, there's your option there. You could, and this is probably too difficult. You could find 100 proof items.
Bunch of like bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah, bottom bond. Sorry.
But no, I'm not saying if it's got to be like right on the 100. That's it's tough to do. I don't know that I can think of any off the top of my head.
The bottom and bond will be automatically 100.
Oh, is it always?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not realize that. I didn't realize it was stuck to. Okay,
That's one.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's one of the pieces. So yeah, so it'd be a bottom and bond. Yeah.
There, I learned something new tonight. I thought I knew it was higher, but I didn't realize it was
It's
actually.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. So there's your answer.
But yeah, so it should be good. But
So
that also
there's two
that also
ideas.
puts at the recording time around for when we would typically do that if we don't do anything like overly special is when we record at the Rebellion Fest, which is appropriate because that was the first like live event we ever did. But anyway,
Yes, things I don't recommend for your 100th event. 100 whiskeys.
right.
I don't recommend that.
No.
That's a bad idea.
Even if it was like a little sip, you're gonna still get palate fatigue.
Yeah, no.
It's all gonna taste like nothing.
No, I also don't recommend mixing 100 whiskey.
No. Definitely worthy of busting out the Infinity bottle for sure. We were talking about the show's Infinity bottle before, and Steve's very weary.
I'm not.
Part of me wants to make him try it tonight.
No, I think I'm okay. I'm just glad I'm not on camera.
Not yet, at least.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. So 10th Ward Smoked Bourbon Whiskey. Now Zach and I did do a smoked bourbon episode where it was Wiggles and Southern Tears smoked. I had not had this bottle yet. That's why that one didn't get. And we weren't overly impressed with those, but I think Zach and I are both Scotch fans, so we're expecting a little bit more to but anyway.
I had the Wiggle smoked, and I actually thought it was very good, particularly for I used it a lot in cocktail.
Yeah.
That was the format that I primarily used it in.
And it was
just
the right amount.
Perfect because it had enough, and particularly for Wiggle was a little bit different than some of the standard. And no, I thought it fit nicely.
Yeah, I think Zach and I went into it with a little bit too high of expectations. Again, because we are very much.
You were thinking you heard the word smoked and you were thinking more Scotch than you got.
Yeah, a little bit more of that actual like fire pit, whatever. Anyway. But yeah, let's. I can smell it from here. It smells good. But,
yeah, no, it does. I just
yeah.
took a whiff.
But
it definitely has the more. It's the smoke is there. It is strong,
and it's got a very like. It sounds funky, but like a very craft aspect to it. Like,
I'd agree.
There's like smoky but grainy, with it only being 2 ingredients, But 20% malted barley is a high percentage of that. But
I wanted to take a small sip, but before I really taste it, I wanted to re-sniff. And the beverage itself is, when I say lighter than I expect, it just thinner. It's thinner than I expect.
Yeah.
It's very, very smoky, but thinner.
I mean, I don't think it's aged for too long. Again, they've only been around since 2016, and they are doing a little bit smaller. But it doesn't say the age statement on here, but I mean, you can look at it and you can see it's not.
Well, it's lighter.
It's on the lighter side. So it's probably not aged terribly long, but it also is 90 proof. So that's going to lend. Those two things collectively will lend a little bit to that. Age doesn't mean everything, but it can explain some things. But I just really like this craft grainy maltiness that it has.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So
even on the palate.
The description they have.
Oh, yes, thank you.
We've got your bourbon whiskey for Scotch lovers right here. A blend of smoked corn. Yep, it's smoky. And malted barley, all sourced locally and processed here in Frederick, Maryland. Mashed and distilled here at 10th Ward, then aged in Char 3 medium toast American white oak barrels. Distinctly not giving the aging amount of time there. I'm not going to read the tasting notes here yet, unless if you wanted to give any more thoughts. But otherwise, then I
no,
will
you
read
can
them
go
for
ahead.
you.
I really enjoy this.
I'm a fan. This gets a thumbs up. So the tasting notes: Scotch-like notes, wood, caramel, and then a hit of smoke, campfire, and oak on the finish. So I definitely agree that the campfire's there, particularly for a bourbon. This is about as true campfire that I think you're going to.
For a bourbon, yes.
That's what I said, for a bourbon. This
Yes.
is about as true campfire as you're going to find for a bourbon.
And it's a nice lingering campfire taste note. You know what I mean? Not super lingering, like you say. It is the light. It kind of dies off a little bit, but that smoke does linger towards the back. It's really nice. I think. I mean, this is a great easy sipper.
Yes, it is
for sure, and I think this would do well. I think it would do well in a cocktail, but a cocktail with not a lot of ingredients. So like the old fashioned that they, I think that's a good one. I wouldn't put too many, just because it is on the lighter side. I wouldn't put it with something that has either really, really strong notes on its own, because it might muddle this. You know what I mean?
Yes. I'm not catching the caramel that they call here. I mean, maybe
those
at the
grainy
very
notes are kind
end,
of taken over for me, but yeah.
But no, I'm not catching a lot of caramel. But I like it is, of course, it is 90 proof. I like that it's not hitting hard. Smooth, easy enough. And,
super easy. As Zach would say, an active drinker.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, a passive drinker, because you could just.
I knew where you were going.
Yeah, thank you. It is Monday, but my brain is not fully. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I mean, like I said, I got one of the flights when I was there.
Yeah. Was this on the flight?
Yes, I'm trying to see if they have their menu.
Now I forget the terms that you use, but it's like there's keeper. What's your you have a scale that
our rating scale.
Yes, the rating scale, and I don't.
Pass, Dantan, throw it at. So by bar pass, but Pittsburgh East.
Yes. And for me, this is a Haas.
Yeah. Obviously, I have. Yeah.
Yeah. This is absolute. Well, you're going to have things in the Haas that because you're getting them for trying.
Yes.
But no, this definitely is the Haas for me.
And I had only gotten, I think I said this earlier, I only got two, because I got a bottle of their Maryland rye. Two 375s, because I was like, I want to get both, but I don't want to get two full bottles in case,
what if it's get
home and it changes, anyway. But I definitely think, and because, we like going to Bethany, so I know we'll swing by this again, that I could just pick up
you could absolutely have a 750 of that in the house. That's a nice ad.
Yeah. I was trying to see if I could find.
I do think it does have room to grow. I think that they could age a little bit in there.
Oh, for sure.
And I think it would give. You can still maintain a lot of the smoke that's there, but maybe provide a little more character to the actual beverage itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was like. It was. It was. I think the bourbon, the rye, and they have like liqueurs,
Mm-hmm.
and they're named after like the season. So and then obviously it is seasonal. So like there's the summertime or the springtime, summertime, autumn, and winter. And I think I had the winter. I think I might have had autumn and winter. It was like a 4 thing. But
I wonder, do they? So I was looking through Tenth Ward's site here. They have absinthe.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have. They didn't happen to have bitters or anything that they made in house, did they?
don't remember off the top of my head. But I mean, you have it up.
Yeah, no. That's why I saw. I was scrolling through.
Well, yeah, because Quantum closed. Do you know that?
No,
Yeah,
I
they
wasn't
closed
aware.
That's when I think of locals for bitters. I think Quantum, but yeah, they closed down.
Yeah, no, I don't see anything.
Oh, and the Joe, the owner at Lawrenceville Distilling, because they make 3 different types of absinthe, and he wants to do. He said he'd love to have us come down and do a Sazerac episode
Oh, that's fun.
and do 3 different Sazeracs with the 3 different absinthes that he had. I'm like, yes, please.
Your Green Fairy episode.
But yeah, that's a has for me. As
Yeah,
well.
no, I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
No,
I don't. Well, they didn't have pricing on there, but I don't.
I saw it. It was the 375 was in the 30s. I
Yeah, that's what I
believe.
thought. Yeah, I think it was in the 30s.
But for me, I always look at pricing at the 750 range because this came in at so it was here. I got it now. 3150 at the 375, and then a 750 at 4950. So it's that 50.
Oh,
it's
nice.
right where I expected.
Yeah.
That to be.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I bought 2 375s, and I think $30 is totally worth a 375
100%.
here. And also, like I said, we bought a couple different can cocks, so we had a hefty, hefty bill. That's why I only went with two different ones. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, and we had Connor with us, so that was the other thing too. Is like, well, where can we go? And they were just like, well, as long as he doesn't sit at the bar, well, we're not going to sit him at the bar.
I know it doesn't. I don't
We
think it
sat in
works
the
like
booth
that.
in the back or something, But yeah, they were super nice, super accommodating. I'm very weird about talking about myself. I don't like to do that,
Yeah, who does?
Yeah, exactly. Well, some people. So
Not me.
I don't always say I just feel weird saying I have a whiskey podcast.
Do you say it like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I hope
with
you do.
that
Can you
accent,
can you
too.
do that again for everybody and make
I
sure?
have a whiskey podcast.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. I was talking. Just one more time, and he's not going to edit this out, folks.
I have a whiskey podcast.
I hope that gets made into the promo.
You want me to make it one of my little sound
Yeah.
sound buttons?
Yeah.
I'll cut that out and add it to it for you.
I mean, I feel like that's you could use that as a a segment that you do. Mm-hmm. To really just to kind of rib on somebody.
Oh, yeah,
right.
yeah.
The I have a whiskey podcast segment of the show, and I'm glad I did it. So now it's on the mic forever. So
And these are on individual tracks now with our new setup. So
perfect.
it doesn't matter that I was talking over you. But yeah. So anyway, so it's just I always feel weird talking about it. Typically, if me and Lisa are out, she's always the one. Well, he has a whiskey pot. She's like my biggest cheerleader, so she always brings it up and everything. And because I also Zach and I aren't doing this to get free stuff. I'm not going out and asking hey,
No, of course not.
some of these influencers are well, you're going to give me all this free stuff, and I'm going to, no, I don't care. You don't have to give me any true like reaction and things from people, like not knowing that we do this little podcast. Or whatever. Yeah.
Correct.
Well,
100%. This one's a winner.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I feel bad after you know how some things just like, you know, when you go and lay down, the anxiety, like the random, like, oh, remember that one time in 4th grade you did this, like, you know, those like thoughts, or is that just my weird brain?
No. Well, I'm waiting. Where are you going with that?
I do that with when you were on for the Advent calendar.
Okay.
Because you were my first guest on that. So those first 5 are always like very much like lead into whiskeys, like nothing like super overly crazy. And I was like, man, like I feel bad. You should have had Steve come on later. He could have got some of the big heavy.
Oh, yeah, well, we had something from Hawaii.
Yes.
If I remember.
Yes. Was that the Swedish one too? They all run together anymore.
Maybe, but I remember Hawaii was the one that the area that stuck out. Not that I remember that it was not like that was the whiskey that I necessarily remember, but I just remembered being surprised by where it was from. That might be where Sweden might have occurred, but yeah, no, there were some very interesting ones in there. I'm sure they went up the chain a little bit.
Well, typically the first 5 were always like very much just like intro whiskeys, like getting you ready for what's coming. But yeah, I think about that every once in a while. It's just like, oh, man, I gotta have Steve back on so give him something else.
Well, it's you don't need to go to
because the only other time you're on was when we did Angel's Envy Rye.
Oh yes, yes. Well, and I think everybody had that wasn't anybody's first beverage that day. So
well, yeah, we had a lot.
I would not say that we had a lot. I would say that was just not our first beverage that day.
But anyway, so anything new whiskey wise with you? Any new finds or sticking to your comforts? Or?
So I was just saying to you right before you started recording, I had just picked up, I saw in the State Store, saw Bibb and Tucker's Double Char. And I had not had it before and opened it the other night and actually went straight for the cocktail with it. And which I probably should have like taken the time to really like try it out and everything. But I said, no, let's go with to do it. Let's go with the cocktail. And of course, the char is supposed to be along that smoked lines and all that, and it was underly smoky, and certainly not anything
comparatively to
this, but a little more body than this.
Oh, okay.
So,
which I would expect out of Bibb and Tucker.
Correct. More body, less smoke, but I did it. And again, I recognize this is that Black Manhattans are typically done with the rye, but I did my take on the Black Manhattan with I like.
It's your house. You do what you want.
Yeah, I did, but that was the spirit in which I approached that. Yeah. So no, it was very good.
Good.
It was very good.
Cool. We talked about it last show, but I recently got to go to Iron City's new location. To their distillery.
I see it's funny, we were talking about tea down here, and I see I spotted a Iron City Turner's iced tea box down there, and I was laughing, but you're sitting there talking about tea, and I don't know if you saw me look over a couple times, but that was what I saw down there is that box. I mean, that's a treasure, right?
It's so good.
I'm just talking about the labeling itself. I'm not even talking about the beverage.
I'm
talking about
that's just like as Mikey and Big Bob from Kiss Freak Show say, it's a yin-splosion for sure.
that's right on the money there.
Turner's and Iron City mashing, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's well, and I love the look of the Iron City, the insignia they have on there, and then the Turners, and no, it looks it's got all the Pittsburgh feels. The distinct.
Have you ever had one?
No.
You can take one home with you.
Well, I appreciate that. No, it's of course the distinct orange of the Turner, but still has the black and gold feel to it with the with the Iron City on there. So no, it's you have something special there.
I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It's just a nice drink. But anyway, we were there and we got to meet like the distillers and everything because they opened up a distillery too. I didn't know if you were familiar with that.
Yep.
There's stuff. It's coming up on a year, so I'm hoping to get together with them around that like year mark to get out there and be like, all right, let's try it. A year later, let's see what you got, kind of thing. But yeah. And Iron City is another one, kind of like how I feel about like Jack Daniels, right? Mm-hmm. When you hear Iron City, you think Iron City, Icy Light. Some people go Icy Light Mango, maybe. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You think Jack, you think number 7, you think really bad college nights, stuff like that. But they have, obviously they have the Turner's mashup, but they have 4 different like craft beers that they're constantly working on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, they own Blockhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they have something rotating for the Blockhouse Dame, which was some sort of barrel-aged stout this time. He was telling me, and I was like, I have to drive home, so no thank you. But other than that, if you'd had asked me like an hour ago, yes. But,
yes.
And yeah, they had like 3 other so like they're not just, the standard, 4 now, because that's a standard anymore. But yeah, so they're pumping out some other good stuff too, even on the beer world. But
I don't know. I just have. I don't drink much beer.
Yeah,
but,
I don't either because I get too bloated.
I always like to keep it. I always like to have a Iron City something or Icy. It's you just keep a couple in the fridge, and then because there'll always be somebody who wants a beer, and it goes down easy. And
yeah, I don't typically drink beer just on the regular when I'm home.
Yeah.
So typically if I ever buy it, it's for like a party. So that was like our family came over after Connor's movie party. And so I had bought that to give out.
For the masses.
Yeah, for the masses. And I was like, I knew I'll drink this because this is, I only have probably one and it won't make me bloated because it's more malt beverage than,
Yes.
So it won't make me as bloated as beer typically does. But yeah. Figure, well, that's a good staple to have now.
Well, as you're well aware, I don't drink a lot of beer, but it's always wine. I always have a lot of wine in the house. So it's you have you have the cabinet of bourbon, and then in the cellar you have the wine. So it's
yeah. Well, yeah, you have your extensive knowledge of wine, or at least extensive in my eyes.
I wouldn't say it's overly extensive, but it's
well, you're way more I don't know, knowledgeable than I, but you also have done.
I've done more. Yeah, I've done more whining. I've done more whining. Yeah. I mean, that's not what they call it, but
Yeah. But anyway.
Now that I know that these mics are separately mic'd in here, I'm a little more nervous about it because at least when I was talking over you, I was like, he can't really separate that out. But now that I know that I have my own file in here and he can just hone in on every word I say.
T can just mute me out for those couple seconds.
Exactly. So then I'm like, what am I even doing?
Yeah. Too funny. Lisa drove by the fraternity house, randomly the one day.
Oh.
They were she went to Erie to see, her and her friend went to Erie to watch the Dancing with the Stars tour.
All I know is that's not on the way to the the house is out of the way there.
On their way back, they stopped. I forget why they swung through there anyway.
Because New Wilmington is very, very busy. It's a hot spot.
It is. Well, Tomas got an apartment in town.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
They also were then going to stop and say hi to him. But she drove the U.
And she still has 4 wheels on the car.
She still has 4 wheels in the car.
Wow.
Yeah. Even after, they did get it paved right when I was leaving. But
no, they've had it done in the last couple of years.
Yeah, too. I think it's still got some.
No, they had to have it redone in the last couple.
She's like, there were a couple guys outside probably like, who the is it?
They used to have, you remember back in the day, there was always there was the person who'd go through the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I don't remember what. I guess they were taking the cans out.
Yeah,
for
more than
recycling.
likely.
But I mean,
Which a dumpster at a fraternity house is gold mine for cans.
it was. But I mean, you just couldn't pay me to get in there. There were tons of yellow jackets and all like the because it would just sit out in the sun, and so no way. No thanks.
Yeah. But yeah, they swung by and she showed like her friend from college. She's like, because she didn't become friends with Kelly, his name, until after I had graduated.
Oh, so Kelly didn't have the privilege.
Kelly never had the privilege of coming down and for a beach party and getting sand everywhere. And
you mean again seeing where the COVID vaccine was developed?
Yep. Yeah, I do wonder, like, did I shave years off my life or extend it because now, like, my lungs are?
No, it's unfortunately the former, John. I don't want to. I don't mean to be grim, but it's. I don't think that it was particularly beneficial for any of us.
No, probably not. But anyway,
from a health standpoint,
right?
It was very beneficial
yeah.
socially,
for sure. But yeah. I don't know. I think if you go back and tell young us, like, hey, God, I don't even want to think about how long we've been out. In X amount of years, you guys are
stop. You teach math.
I don't want to do it.
You teach
I'm
math.
off the clock.
Come on.
I'm off the clock.
It is 2024.
Well, you graduated in
08.
08. So I did 09. So 08 to, we'll do you since you left for.
It's just 1 year different there, but anyway, in June it will be 16 years for me, and for you it's 15. Yeah. It's a marquee marquee year.
I know. I might have to actually go back this year. Since Tomas graduated, we
haven't. Oh, is it your? Do you guys have your?
It was either because I don't think it was last year. I don't think they clustered us last year.
I don't know.
I'll have to look.
We haven't been to one in a couple. We stopped. Having a child, we had a kid, and then COVID, and we just hadn't gotten back into the trip up. Wasn't really worth it for us. Like, what would take a small child up there to do what?
Yeah, exactly.
Like there wasn't watch the football game.
Which
talk to some people, like there just was no advantage to taking. And what I think too,
like there's waves, right, where like our groups, like around, like all of us that like we're all there together, like we're not all going back right now either, because we're all in those kinds of stages too, where like maybe in like another 10, 15, maybe we do, we start going back again. I only kept going back because Tomas was there.
Yep.
And so once he graduated, we really haven't been back, but it's only been a couple years. But yeah, if they cluster, I'll probably go up, take Connor. He'll enjoy seeing everything.
Well, he's finally, and my daughter's reaching the age too where like we could actually go up and do so. But again, they're still on a ton of kid activities, and so it's
no. It would be
what's the value?
Show them around and go. Probably go see Uncle T and then head out. But yeah, again, that if T didn't have an apartment in town, he is that little parking lot that was across from Isley's / Jimmy's.
Jimmy's is gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
well,
so
yeah.
sad.
But I was referencing back to what we knew it.
I know, but it just makes me sad.
Oh, it's very sad.
I loved Jimmy's restaurant. That was the best. He had the gyros.
Tomas used to say he knew him by voice.
Yeah.
Tomas would call. He'd be like, "Oh, you want your usual?"
Yeah. No, it's he.
Yeah.
We only go up there a couple times a year, and he always knew.
He also offered a dining plan to the House Brothers.
Oh.
Yeah. So you could do like a dining, or it was either that or to the college, but like there was some sort of like extra dining plan thing that people did. So yeah, I think that's what T said. Anyway,
no, that's awesome.
But that little parking lot that's across the street, that's now next to that, or what, I don't even know if it's even that beer place anymore. But there was those little apartments at the back of the.
What you're forgetting? The parking lot right across from that. That was the feed mill.
The feed mill. So I never experienced a feed mill.
You didn't?
No. I think it closed down by the time I joined the fraternity.
No.
I didn't join till
because
06.
Because so my wife was one of the waitresses, and it was like her and a couple of the brothers, and it was like people who were 1 year older than.
I mean, I heard stories of it. I just never got to experience it.
It can't be. We couldn't have been that old. My goodness. I don't know. Maybe. But no. Oh, the feed mill. That was.
So that was my other reference. If I was going to say, so the apartment's across the street from the feed mill. Yeah.
Exactly.
We have lost all of our listeners.
Yeah, I know. We're going to have to.
Nah, I don't even know. I'll make sure T puts something like Westminster, like, you know.
Like a.
Walk down Westminster Lane.
Yeah, you're gonna need a skip forward button on that one. Sorry, we've lost our focus.
Yeah, but
all right, refocusing.
But anyway, that's where T's at. Really enjoy this. I think the price point, even for $3.75, $30.
Mm-hmm. I would agree.
This is worth $30 to me.
That shows up right in my cabinet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, even if you don't want to drink it neat, if you want to use it as a cocktail, I think this will get you plenty of cocktails for $30.
Oh yeah, I think it's fine neat too. Mm-hmm. I'm in.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have to do, like, I know, like, the smoked old fashions are like the newer thing to do with, like, especially presentation wise at bars.
Yes,
of
course.
You get that without having to do all that crazy stuff at home.
Yeah, no,
if you don't have a smoking kit at home, just buy this.
I'm not taking the time to actually smoke my cocktails at home.
I'm not really. I always, like, you usually make cocktails when I come over. That's pretty much even home. If I pour something, it's neat.
I pour almost everything neat.
Oh, really?
I only do because I'm not very good at cocktails. And
me neither.
I'm not.
See,
good
I always
at
thought
it.
you were good at it.
No, I'm not good at it. I'm terrible. I'm terrible. And part of it is that because cocktails are an investment because you have to have enough of the extra stuff, and keeping that extra stuff fresh. You know, like if you're going to, you have to have the, you're making the syrups or you're making the, whatever, unless it's another spirit that is shelf stable, you have to have a bunch of stuff ready to go. And it's never.
I don't make enough of them.
No, yeah. I don't make it. And I hate buying a jar of cherries, using 3 and then being like, well, that's it. Mm-hmm. And no, it just.
Lisa just bought. Because I would make, like, my own simple syrup and stuff, like, especially, like, the flavored one, because she really likes a peach one. But, man, I'd make it, and it probably would go bad because I wouldn't drink it fast enough for one. So she bought one, like, on the counter, but because she's getting into cocktails a lot more, especially whiskey-based cocktails, which I'm a fan of. But, yeah. Anywho's.
I can't believe you thought I was good at cocktails. I mean, that's oh man, no, I'm not. I'm nowhere near the master.
I held you in high regard when it came to cocktails.
Well, I appreciate that. Now, I will say, if we're having people, we'll always try to like think up something, and like then we push people on that. We're like, okay, we're prepped on this set of ingredients, so like try not to go.
Let me make you this. It's really good. I have this book. Yeah. Turn into a salesperson.
Well, it's legitimately one of the things we like to do. And actually, you've got it. I see you have a couple of bottles of it down there. Is the Mystic Mixtures, and I don't even know if you know what you have a couple bottles of it down there, and it's you probably got it from us as an idea because
probably
because it was he's a small vendor and he'll sell at what do you call it the farmers markets.
Yes. Okay, I know what you're talking about. Yep.
And so
that's exactly. I'm pretty sure Lisa got it from Carson. Yeah.
I'm confident because we'll always grab 1 or 2 of those because he makes them fresh, and so he bottles it up, and so all you have to do, and so all you do is there's going to be themes to it, right? Some of them are recommend adding whiskey or adding rum or adding tequila, whatever it is, and so recommend adding X, that X spirit, and then it's just that the spirit. Excuse me, the mixture that he provided, and then water, and then sometimes it's sparkle, sometimes it's still, and then ends up being lovely. And so you can really balance. What's really great about that is you have really nice control over the sweetness, right? Over the sweetness, over the hydration. And then, of course, a lot of them you can do, they'll recommend you can do different spirits with it. So it's not like it has to be.
I like that he has on like the neck of the little card that usually says like recommended, do this, but kind of thing. We actually turned my mom on to him because they'll go to farmers market and stuff, and so she's been getting stuff. Yeah, Lisa bought a couple of them home for. We were at my parents' house for some party. I don't know if it was a holiday or something.
Yep.
And she ran out because everybody loved whatever the one she got that she was doing drinks with. She couldn't make them fast enough.
The one that's been a huge party winner for us is he makes a Dragon's Breath margarita, I believe, and that was quite good. And no, but I like that because yes, I will take credit for being able to make good cocktails there because all the work's done for me,
basically. Yeah,
and like I said, you have so much control over it.
You would feel better using that as a pre-thing rather than something off the shelf by a major
correct.
Yeah,
correct. And they're small enough, and so you're targeting a party. So we'll buy 2 of them, and then they do hold for a little. If you don't open them, they hold, and so you pick what you want, and then the guests come over, you say, hey, we're gonna have X, and then sorry, he just passed me
I poured nothing.
the bottle.
No, they're great, and I'm excited to get a couple more of those. But anywho's,
well, save the so he takes the bottles back. He'll give you a buck. He'll give you a buck for each bottle you turn in. So be sure.
I'm pretty sure she did. Yeah.
I see him. I see 2 sitting right there. Take the bottles back. And it's you're doing right by the environment.
But anyway, thanks for. I did a very much last minute text to you saying, hey, because Zach ended up getting sick today. So I was like, Steve, you want to come drink?
I was happy to oblige. Yeah. Like I said, it was a strong start to a Monday.
Should be a good week.
It will. I was going to work this evening, so appreciate.
Well, you are working for me right now.
Yes, my check's in the mail.
But yeah. So I guess the only other. You have any final thoughts on 10th Ward?
It was very nice. I'm not sorry we tried it.
Yeah, good. Glad you enjoyed it. Again, when I have, if Zach, I don't. If he's not gonna like something, I don't give a shit if he doesn't like it. Sometimes I'll buy stuff on purpose that I know he won't like, just to fuck with him. But
that's not very kind.
He enjoys it. But you have guests on, like yourself. I'm always like. Anyway, all that said, thank you again. And the only thing left to say is, Steve, cheers to you.
Cheers to you.
And cheers to Yins.